Hello everybody, today we are going to do a fun little project with math today. It is called Pumpkin Puzzler and it is in the Schoology folder and with the lesson plan and everything and all the materials you would need if you want to try it at home as well, because mine will have to be a shortened version. So before we start, I want to get your mind going and thinking about magnitude. So what if I were to say, how many seats are in the lunchroom, but you cannot count them? What would you do? You would have to estimate, which means make a reasonable guess, which is what we do when we are practicing magnitude. So what we're going to be doing today is practicing estimating. So it's kind of like making a prediction. Before we read the story, we look at what we can see and make a reasonable guess using that information. The same thing when we are doing magnitude. We look at what we can see, what we are given, and then we make a reasonable guess. So for Pumpkin Puzzler, I do not have a pumpkin, so what I did was get a spaghetti squash from the store. And these are very yummy if you have never tried them. If you did the project, I plan on eating this for dinner tonight, so you can do that as well. So inside of a spaghetti squash, just like a pumpkin, is all that gooey pulp and seeds that you have to scoop out. So can you tell how many seeds are in this spaghetti squash just by looking at the outside? No, we need to cut it open and see the inside, just like a pumpkin. You cut the top off and then you gotta scoop all the seeds out. When we cut a spaghetti squash, we're gonna cut it down in half and then we're gonna scoop them out. So I have already cut my spaghetti squash in half, and you can see, so that little pit is where all the pulp and the seeds are. So because of time, I went ahead and I cut it right down the middle. You can see where it fits back together. And then I already took out all the pulp and pulled all the seeds out. So we're going to be estimating how many seeds are in a spaghetti squash. So I went ahead and I pulled out, I'm going to try and make it so you can see it. And I went ahead and I pulled out all the seeds and the pulp. So you can see I have a big pile of pulp here, and that's that ooey gooey stuff. That kind of feels gross when you're reaching in the pumpkin or a spaghetti squash. Then I have all the seeds laid out. So let me give you a good look at these seeds, because right now I want you to start thinking about what is a good estimation of the seeds that were in the spaghetti squash. So let's look. So seeds are pretty small. Some are smaller than others, and they're just spread all out. So it's kind of hard to make a guess, but I'm starting to think of a few numbers, maybe. Definitely more than 10, I know that, but I'm not really sure what number I'm gonna say. Am I gonna say it's closer to 100 or like 50? So before we do that, I thought we could make some groups to kind of give an example of what the seeds would be like. So I just found some chocolate chips already opened in my pantry. You could use cereal, goldfish. So I used chocolate chips because they're about the same size as a seed. So when I make my groups, I'll be able to see. So I'm gonna have one chocolate chip. I'm going to make groups of 10. That's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then I'm going to make a group 9. I'm going to make a group of 50. And so I need to count real quick. 2. Is it easier to count one by one or skip count by a number? Skip count is faster. That's why you practice that. So I'm just going to grab 2 right now. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36, 38, 40, 42, 44, 46, 48, and 50. So, you can see on my plate, I have a group, let me do it this way. I have a group of 1, 10, and this is a group of 50. So I'm looking over here, and now my brain's really churning. I'm starting to think, I know this is not, 1 is not a reasonable estimate. I'm looking at even what 10 looks like. 10 is not a reasonable estimate. 50, wow, that looks pretty close. I am going to say right now about 50 seeds. I'm going to say about 50 seeds. That's going to be my first estimation, my first reasonable guess. Do you agree that that would be a reasonable guess? I think so. So what I'm going to do now to make it easier, so I'm not counting one by one each little seed, I'm going to count groups of 10, make groups of 10, and that way I can count by what? 10. I'll be able to figure out, was my estimation close or not very reasonable at all. So let's go ahead and see. I have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. One group of 10. So let's just look at that right now. This is one group of 10 out of all this. So now I'm kind of thinking, my estimation might not be close enough. I might not have a high enough number, but I'm going to keep going. We're going to keep looking. And then once I have all my groups, I am going to, I might see if I need to adjust my estimation. Just like we adjust predictions when after we read the story, we can adjust our estimation too. That's 10, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And that's 4, 5, 8, 10, 5, 7, 10, 3, 6, 8, 10, 3, 6, 9, and 10. 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. And then I have 6 left over. All right, let's take a look. All right, so you can see I have made piles of 10, and then I have a pile of 7 left over. So let's look. I can tell if these are already groups of 10, what I can count them by 10, I know that there must be 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87. So, what do you think? There are 87 seeds that were inside of my spaghetti squash, and I had estimated 50. Do you think that was reasonable? I don't think it was that bad. I would love to hear if someone had a closer estimation. If you made one when I did and you wrote it down, I would love to find out if you had a better one than me. Just like when we estimate in real life, it's okay not to be exactly on the number, or you know, 5 greater, 5 less. An estimation is just like a prediction. It's something that helps you. It is not something that is exactly right or exactly wrong. So it's just something that really helps us as we're learning. So this is just a fun little activity that you can do at home. And it kind of just makes you think, wow, I can estimate anywhere in the world. So what I'm going to do real quick for a little last minute activity is I have a tiny flower bed outside. And I was thinking maybe we could estimate how many flowers I have. And once I show you them, I want you to respond with how many flowers you think are out here. And I'm just talking about the plant, okay? Not individual flowers, the plant, okay? And I want you to estimate how many plants does Miss Newman have in her little flower bed, and then respond to this. And I want to see if you are able to estimate close. All right, so let me show you. So like this would be 1. So how many plants do you estimate I have out here? And I got a paintbrush out here. Look at that. How many plants? Okay. This could be just a fun little game that you play wherever you are. How many apples are in the tree? How many turtles are in the pond? It's something that you can do all the time, and it helps you learn, and then you can count to figure out if you were close or not. All right, have a good day. Bye.